Welcome to Sahaja Yoga Meditation. My name is Paul, and today is the first session, the first part of a new series called Meditation Step Up. If you haven't received your self-realization, if you didn't attend a Sahaja Yoga session before, please check our other series called Meditation First Steps, where you will learn the basic steps of Sahaja Yoga and of meditation. For those who have attended the course and who have received your self-realization, this is right for you, where we are going to go in more details in each aspect of our subtle system. So today it's very exciting. We are going to learn about our central channel. And the best way to start is, as you know, as advanced people, we are going to raise our Kundalini and put ourselves in a bandhan. So let's do it together to settle, with the left hand moving upwards and the right hand rotating around it. So let's do that 3 times. Putting our attention on top of our head. And now let's put ourselves in a bandhan with the right hand starting on the left side and doing half a circle around us and back 7 times. And we can put our hands on our laps, put our attention inside, and simply settle for a couple of minutes before we go into the topic. Forgive your thoughts, if you still have some thoughts, and put your attention on top of your head at the fontanelle area, which represents the 7th chakra. Alright, I think we are all settled now. So to talk about the central channel or Sushumna Nadhi, I found a video done by some Sahaja yogi that explains how the subtle system has been created within us. So let's have a look at this video.
When a fetus is between 2 and 3 months old, the rays of the all-pervading power pass through the developing brain. The human brain is shaped like a triangular pyramid or prism-like. When these rays fall on a developing brain, they get refracted into 4 different channels. These channels correspond to the 4 aspects of the nervous system. the rays of the all-pervading power that enter through the apex of the pyramid brain pass straight down, forming the central subtle channel. These rays settle down in 3.5 coils in the sacrum bone as the Kundalini, which is the residual consciousness of the divine within everyone. The gross manifestation of this central channel is the parasympathetic nervous system. The rays that fall on the sides of the prism refract into opposite sides, similar to the way light refracts through a prism. After refraction, the resultant ray splits into two components, according to the law of parallelogram of forces. The vertical components of the energy are channeled into the left and right subtle channels corresponding to the sympathetic nervous system. The remaining energy, the horizontal components, are projected outside, corresponding to the attention that goes to the outside world. It pushes its way out through the senses, dragging with it our attention to the past and to the future. The energy that flows out of the brain is the one that reacts to everything. The reactions gathered outside are brought back as conditionings called superego, or as ego. In conclusion, the rays that pass through the apex form the parasympathetic system, and the rays that fall on the sides form through the horizontal components, the ego and superego, and through the vertical components, the sympathetic nervous system. During childhood, the calcification of the fontanelle bone takes place. This separates an individual from the all-pervading power and develops a sense of individuality. This sense of separation is created for humans to use the left and right channels to develop a balance. The left channel is like a brake, and the right channel like the accelerator of a car. By learning how to use them properly, one develops a balance. As a result of such activities, the two balloons of the superego and ego are developed. However, when there is an imbalance, this ballooning goes beyond limits. Such overactivity in the outside world drains the sympathetic energy. And, ultimately, leads to disease. When the Kundalini rises, she draws the attention inside. As a result, conditionings and ego decrease, and the sympathetic energy is replenished. The awakened Kundalini guides the human attention to the fontanelle bone. Here, the human attention becomes one with the all-pervading power.
As was mentioned in the video, the central channel is our parasympathetic nervous system, or autonomous nervous system as it's sometimes called. And the reason it's called autonomous is because it manages everything that's happening at the physical level automatically within us, like reflexes. We cannot control them, when it just happens. Or some functions of our body, like breathing. We don't have to think to breathe to actually making it happen. But at the subtle level, what's important to understand is that this central channel is the channel of our spiritual growth, of our evolution. And it is the only path to achieve what all the scriptures have described, which is our second birth, or self-realization. And this is achieved when our motherly energy, the Kundalini, is rising in the central channel, enlightening all the chakras along the way, and opening up our seventh chakra here on top of our head. The principle of the central channel is called Sri Mahalakshmi. Sri Mahalakshmi, which is an evolution of the Lakshmi principle, which is known in India as the principle of wealth, well-being and satisfaction. The Mahalakshmi principle gives us the spiritual wealth, gives us the spiritual enlightenment, which is much higher and much deeper than the material satisfaction. One of the key qualities of the central channel is balance. Because if you take anything, if it's not in balance, it's not going to go very fast or very well. If you take a plane and one wing is shorter than the other one, I wouldn't board that plane because it's not balanced. And the same happens in our subtle system. When we are in balance, it means that the central channel can actually grow stronger and deeper. And the way to stay in balance is not to go too much in our emotions on the left side, or on excessive thinking or excessive planning. The other quality that I experienced about the central channel is this sense of surrender to the divine power, to the Kundalini within us. Because meditation is not about doing, because the Kundalini, or motherly energy, is doing absolutely everything. And we become like a witness. And when the joy grows within us, the sense of surrender, the sense of joy is developing within us. So now, let's listen to a video of Sri Mataji that will talk a little bit more of some aspects of the central channel.
As you know, the Mahalakshmi principle lies within all of you in the center. And once you are fed up with the falsehood and also with the hypocrisy of people, you start seeking the truth within. That's how a new category of people are born, who are called as seekers, sadhakas. They are very different from others. They don't care for any material gain or any power, position. They want to seek the truth. And this category is the one you are. And that's why you have come to Sahaja. This comes from your past lives also. For many people, I think it's their past life which has brought the seeking in them. Also the affluence through which you have gone, you got fed up with it and you are seeking the truth. Also there are people like in India where the tradition is to seek the truth from very childhood. You are told that money is not everything, power is not everything, it's all falsehood. You must seek the truth. So you are ingrained with it. These are called as good conditioning, susamskara. Now, if it is the just a fashion sort of a thing, that you get into fashion, that let us seek the truth, because everybody is talking about truth, let us have this as a fashion, because everybody is doing it. Then it can be very dangerous. Such people get lost. I've seen people who were drug addicts who came to us first in England. And I was surprised that they were really seekers and they were not taking drugs because of fashion. They are just taking it because they thought by taking drugs they will get into their Mahalakshmi principle. Very intelligent, educated, very smart, I should say, people became hippies and they started taking drugs. I discovered that their seeking was only that they should find the truth. But they had no idea as to what is the truth is. So this Mahalakshmi principle was born within them, sort of started manifesting, that beyond all this there must be something. This category of people are everywhere in the world. Especially I was surprised in Russia, where there is no talk of God, there is no talk of religion. They are even better than Indians in understanding such. So the conditionings of every country has also hampered the progress of Sahaja Yoga within you and outside. So now first of all, to understand Mahalakshmi principle, we must know that we have two other channels into which we can jump. One is the left, another is the right. And it depends on what sort of a background you had in this life. Because of your background in last life, you have come to the right path. But last life is being covered by this life, the surroundings, the country in which you are born, your friends, parents, the society in which you lived has dominated you in so many ways that the Mahalakshmi principle doesn't express itself in that full power, which should really suck in everything else and put you onto the throne of a Sahaja. So you find people, yesterday there were so many people, for example. very nice people. They were all seekers of many lives who came there. But we do not know how many will come to Sahaja and how many will settle down in Sahaja. How many will achieve doubtless awareness. Again, the same problem, that they start getting into the habits formed by the left side or into the ego formed by the right side. Now, for a Sahaja to keep his Mahalakshmi principle all right, has to always introspect, not to look at others, but to introspect. What am I doing? Am I in the left side or on the right side? Which side am I? What side I am following? Am I in the center? Now, how will you judge? The best is to feel your vibrations. Feel your vibrations. But sometimes you go so far to the left or to the right that you just do not feel vibrations, your Mahalakshmi principle is not working. Then you go on. It's like a complete derailment, I should say, a kind of a slope on which you just go on falling onto that. So all these conditionings we should watch out in ourselves and in others. How we have got these problems that we slip out from the central path. Imagine a train is going on a proper railway track and suddenly it starts moving this way or that way. So where will it end up? Into destruction. But you have a way of arranging that this derailment can be brought back to the middle path. So in a very detached way, if you look at yourself like a witness and see for yourself, not about others. Even when I give lectures, people start saying, oh, mother is saying about somebody else. No, I'm saying about you, yourself. So you watch out that are you in the center or are you going to the left or to the right? First of all, those who are in the center should not have any physical problems, should be able to completely cure themselves. If not others, they should be able to cure themselves. Secondly, a person who is in the center is a very peaceful person. He is never angry. He might put up a show that you are angry, but he doesn't get involved into anger or any emotions whatsoever. He just watches and he can act. He can act to be in that feeling of temper, also lust, greed, anything, but just to act, because sometimes this acting is needed, so he can use it. But you should be sure, first of all, that you are completely detached. So first of all, before acting, you must become a master of acting. And for that, you have to become yourself. If you become yourself, then you are a master and you can see where are you going. Now, the difference between a Sahaja and a Sahaja who is like this, as you say, is this, that he is capable of going to the left or to the right. They are not solidly Sahajas. And they go on like this and there is no progress. Imagine any aeroplane which is wobbling like that will be on the ground only. Nobody will be able to put it up in the air, because God knows when will it fall down. So for any machinery, we have to fix it up properly first before we start working it out. So to fix up our Mahalakshmi principle, you have to see that your physical being is alright, is normal, no problem. I'm not meaning the modern ways of looking at health, but that you should feel healthy and happy. You should feel that there's no problem with your physical being. But if you are a complaining type, I'm here paining, I'm paining there, then there's something wrong with you. This is the first criteria, that you are in the center. Then your attention should be more towards nature, how the nature is, how it is blossoming, how it is working out. It should be towards the sky, stars and things, just to enjoy all the creation that is around, just to enjoy it. That's an enjoyment which is really so surprisingly deep. When you see something beautiful scene or something, you go to a very beautiful place, then a kind of a joy that pours in you from your sahasrara, that also you must experience. Also you must experience your thoughtless awareness. That is, when you look at something beautiful, you should suddenly become thoughtless. Just start seeing it. The whole joy will start pouring on you.
Let's now go into meditation. And during this meditation, we'll say 3 mantras. The first mantra is the mantra of the first chakra, the Muladhara chakra. And the principle is Shri Ganesha. And you will see in a few weeks why we always say this mantra first. The second mantra that we will say is the mantra of Shri Mahalakshmi, which is the principle of this central channel. And the third mantra, actually 3 of them, are the mantras of the Sahasrara, the last chakra here, that we will say at the end of our meditation. During the meditation, I will also ask you to do a specific movement. So if you don't want to open your eyes, I will show it to you first now. So what we'll do with the right hand, we will actually put it at the level of the Kundalini, at the sacrum bone, and simply raise it and put it in our Sahasrara chakra, the 7th chakra within us. And we'll do that 7 times. Like that. Alright? If you don't know the mantras, it doesn't matter. We are going to put the text on the screen so you will be able to say it at the same time that I will be saying it. And when we say the mantra, you will certainly feel the vibrations that become more intense, the cool breeze that becomes stronger when we invoke these principles. So let's go in meditation now. You can close your eyes, put your attention on top of your head. And slowly get into that state where we are in the present moment, where there are no more thoughts, which indicates that the Kundalini is rising in our central channel, in our Sushumna Nadhi, helping us to grow in our spiritual ascent. So let's say now the first mantra of Shri Ganesha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah. And we can join our hands together in a Namaste fashion in front of us and put them back on our laps. And we can keep our attention for a few seconds at the Muladhara chakra. Keeping our attention on top of our head and enjoying the present moment. Now we can, with your right hand, raise the Kundalini as I did show you earlier. The right hand starting at the base of our spine, and slowly, with your attention and with the hand moving upwards, we are humbly asking the motherly Kundalini or motherly Kundalini to rise. And we can do that 7 times. Now we can say together the mantra of Sri Mahalakshmi, the principle of the central channel. Keeping our attention on top of our head always. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah. And we can do Namaste with our hands. If you feel your fingers tingling or some heat in one hand, just don't pay any attention. Just observe it like a witness, but don't let it distract. You desire to be in thoughtless awareness. You desire to be in meditation. Now, keeping our attention on top of our head at the Sahasrara chakra, we are going to say the three great mantras of the Sahasrara. And again, they will be displayed on the screen. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Mahasarasvati Mahakali Trigunatmika Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah. The second one. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah. And the third one. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Swamini Moksha Pradayini Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namah. And we can bring our hands together in a Namaste. And simply for a few seconds, let's try to feel the peace, the cool breeze within our hands. Which reflects the awakening of our own Kundalini. We can slowly open our eyes. the way to improve our central channel is really to stay in balance. For example, if you have a cart or a car and the two wheels on the right are bigger than the two wheels on the other side, the car will not go straight forward. So if we can stay in balance, not going too much into the right side, too much into the left side, the side of action on the right, the emotional side on our left, this will put us in a position of balance where the Kundalini will raise more easily in the central channel. The second thing is certainly to have this desire to ascend spiritually. Sri Mataji always talks to us in public programs, addresses people as seekers of truth. And we have to have this desire to grow spiritually for this subtle system to be activated. And lastly, to improve the central channel. There is no other way but to meditate. Because in meditation, the Kundalini rises and more, with more and more strength. And it means when the Kundalini rises, the central channel is awakened. The central channel also starts to show all its beautiful qualities within us. So as usual, now that we are more advanced Sahaja yogis, we can meditate 10-15 minutes in the morning, meditate or take a foot soak 10-15 minutes in the evening. And it's these regular activities that will help us strengthen our spiritual growth and strengthen our ascent. So I hope you enjoyed this advanced session. So we are going to finish like we finish all meditation by raising our Kundalini and putting ourselves in a bandhan. Let's do it together. And we can do Namaste at the end and just see if we can feel the silence, the coolness in our hands. Alright, that's the end of this session. I hope you enjoyed it. And please join us for the next session, where we are going to talk in more details of another Nadi, another channel within our subtle systems. So thank you very much.